Ladies and gentlemen, the American German Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show, where we're Americans fighting for America. General Kane he's a 3-star retired general, who is going to be the new chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Joy Reid says, in her last words at MSNBC, fascism is now here. This woman is crazier than a loon. Trump says Keystone Pipeline XL, time to get it back on track. I agree. Democratic donors, I did a Facebook Live about this, aren't happy. They are pulling back. See, we put Bush in there too. Pulling back the strings. They know they're wasting money. The Democrats waste campaign money the same way they waste our tax dollars. Trump polling, he's 9 points up and doing very well with Hispanics, women, and suburbia. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse of Rhode Island, well, he's under investigation now because there was a little pushing money to his wife's environmental group. Folks, these folks are gangsters. It's terrible. Ron DeSantis took a little shot at Byron Donalds, Trump's pick to be the next Florida governor. There was some scuttlebutt that Ron DeSantis' wife might be running for governor. I just want to say one thing to Ron DeSantis, who I like, but I'm Trump first. Martha Wilkinson. Here in Kentucky, Wallace Wilkinson tried that with his wife. It didn't turn out too well. These wives replacing husband things don't turn out very well. Rudy Giuliani has got a judgment paid in full, the $148 million. I can assure you it's not $148 million. My guess is he got a wealthy friend to come up with some money. The other side said, hey, listen, I can borrow this money and pay you X or forget about it. And, of course, they can't force him to borrow money. You see what I mean? So it's probably a couple $1 million. This is a funny story and a good story, and it tells you what I've tried to tell you, and I've told you, about the supply chain issues that Trump would solve. Turkey is giving the United States 420 million eggs to help us out in our shortage. Joe Biden wouldn't have done that. I guarantee you, Trump and his gang solving the damn problem of the eggs. I freaking love it. Starbucks is cutting 1,100 jobs across the country and scaling back their menu. Apple is going to invest $500 billion in the United States. See how that tariff thing works? And this is a sad story. My wife shopped here a lot. Joann are closing. They filed bankruptcy. They're now closing all their stores nationwide. What a tragedy. Elizabeth Holmes, verdict upheld. She, of course, was a Theranos who lied, said her blood tests were, the most crazy thing. I think it makes Enron look like nothing. Can you imagine? She sold investors and she sold bigwigs on her board that you could immediately do a blood check and find out if you're sick or got cancer or whatever. All a lie. Coming up next, your local news. All right, on local news, Donald Trump has endorsed and Elon Musk has endorsed Vivek Ramaswamy. What does this mean? The governor's race in Ohio is over. I was supporting Dave Yost. I still am supporting David Yost. I'm not going to be somebody that bails out on him. But my sources say Yost was traveling to Washington today to meet with Trump. I got a source. My guess is David Yost, who's very talented, will be given a position in the Trump administration. Just think about it, folks. There's a lot of agencies that could use a good general counsel. There's a lot of people in the DOJ, federal judgeships, on and on. David Yost is a good public servant, and my guess is he will withdraw. Now, I'm not speaking for Yost. I'm not. But I just feel bad for him because I don't know how you beat Vivek Ramaswamy in a Republican primary backed by Trump and Elon Musk. I just don't see how that happens. Daniel Cameron bashed Mitch McConnell for his not voting for Trump's picks. Shameless. Daniel Cameron's a nice guy, smiles, but he's such a politician. On the governor's campaign trail, he said the same speech every place, every time. Every time. And he can't raise money. And he boycotted Patriots Day Freedom Fest with Trump people there. I just want everybody to remember that. If you're a Trump supporter, we all knew that Daniel Cameron was a McConnell guy. Trump endorsed him by accident. Trump said when he lost, McConnell was too much. And Cameron will never overcome Breonna Taylor and his abortion stance. He can't win a statewide election. It's not going to happen. But now he's bashing McConnell. You know they worked that out. Oh, go ahead and bash me. It's politics. Jonathan Mason flees on a mule. Sabrina, I came up with an idea for a little segment that we can do called Kentucky Fried. We call it Kentucky Fried. This is our Kentucky Fried story. Jonathan Mason, I think he's in his 30s, was in a bar down in Murray, Kentucky. The police got called. He had a mule. He got on his mule and he fled the police on a mule, only in Kentucky. Now, I was thinking about this. If there were some hills nearby, maybe the mule could work out. Anderson High School is off again due to an electric outage. I want to know what the electrical outage is. Really? Don't toilets work without electricity? Why couldn't the kids have school anyway? 4-year-old, sad, killed by a UPS truck. Don't know the facts, don't know the circumstances, but it's a tragedy. Here's a more tragedy. Would there be anything worse? And I know some of you have had to endure this. Is there anything worse than your child committing suicide? How do you get over that? The would'ves and could'ves and all that. There have been 5 youths who've committed suicide. I don't know if they're connected out in Boone County, and Boone County's taking it serious, which is a good thing. Rest in peace, Uncle Jim Deters. Here's my Uncle Jim, 93 years old, passed away over the weekend. You know what? I got good genes. My parents are both 95, so I got a double dose. So I'm hoping to get to 100, Sabrina Kane. Can you imagine me 39 more years? Anyway, Uncle Jim passed away. I love him. I did a Facebook Live. He's a very quiet guy, but a good guy. All right, armed black men are in Lincoln Heights. Look at these guys. They're saying they're there to protect the people against the Nazis. Really? Why don't they just ignore the Nazis? Can you imagine if white people with masks and AKs or ARs were doing this? There'd be hell to pay, wouldn't there? Wouldn't there? All right, coming up next is your world news. All right, world news. Trump met with Macron yesterday. This picture summarizes Trump's skills. Just all the, Trump, let's call it the way it is. Trump loves himself, okay? But you know what? To be president and run for president, you got to have a healthy ego, right? You do. But despite that, Trump's got great, genuine people skills. He knows how to negotiate, knows how to talk. Here he is with Macron, who called a special meeting. And Macron is telling him, hey, be cautious. He told a story about the Eiffel Tower where Macron was talking French and Trump was saying yes, didn't know what the hell he was saying, and tried to enforce a deal. And they laughed about it. Look at these guys. They're now buddies. Now, they're not going to always agree, but they're buddies now. That's what Trump is. He's smart. God, thank God Joe Biden's gone. Elon Musk says everybody is going to get one more chance to send out an email saying what you're going to do or you're gone. And you know who's got his back? The only guy that matters, President Trump, cheering him on. Pope, you ready for this? The Pope is apparently improving. Yay for all the Catholics, yay for Pope Francis. Yesterday was the 3rd anniversary of the Ukrainian war. Folks, that's 1 year away from the United States' total involvement in World War II. Put that in perspective. It's crazy. Coming up next, Sports Without Boundaries. All right, Sports Without Boundaries. Guys got a few, not much sports going on besides NBA. Reds beat the Dodgers in spring training. And the Philadelphia Eagles say if Trump invites him, I'm sure they will because he loves sports, the Eagles will go. I love it. Coming up next, pop culture. With pop culture, Alec Baldwin, a Trump impersonator, went up to Alec Baldwin. And Baldwin got pissed off, was outside his house. And he said if there weren't cameras, he'd break the guy's neck. Now, I'm conflicted with Alec Baldwin. Let me go through this. Alec Baldwin is a great actor. Alec Baldwin's an angry man. I admire that Alec Baldwin has a beautiful wife that he apparently stays faithful to. They have a bunch of kids. He's a family man. I don't like Alec Baldwin's politics, but I'm able to compartmentalize it. But I can bond with Alec Baldwin because I got a temper too and I get over stuff quick. You know what? If somebody was outside my house doing this, I might act like Alec Baldwin did. So I cut people slack. All right, I'm going to do a report. I need to do more of this about some shows I watch because I watch more television than anybody because I'm always working with the TV on. The Gorge, great movie. Check it out on Prime. Hell on Wheels. This is an old series, Western, about the Transcontinental Railroad. I've never watched it. I've binged it over the last couple weeks. Watched all 5 seasons. I loved it. I can identify with Colin Bohannon. Those of you that have watched this know what I'm talking about. And this was great. It told real history of the construction of the Transcontinental Railroad, except the Colin Bohannon character was fictional. 01. Binge that sucker last night. Great. This is De Niro playing a former president. Great story. Cobra Kai. Binge that sucker too. That was quick to knock out. You know what? Cobra Kai is so Pollyanna, martial arts, but it's still a fun show. In 1923, I watched the first episode of that. I'm really looking forward to Spencer getting to the ranch and saving the day. Coming up next, I've got some history. Here we go. J.P. Morgan formed U.S. Steel Corporation on this day in history, was the first $1 billion corporation. And your Shakespeare insult of the day? Do not be a spleeny, swag-bellied miscreant. A spleeny, swag-bellied miscreant. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.